Hello, how are you? I'm doing fairly well. It's good to see you at my table again. So I feel like we have a message here. I do, and I think we're gonna start out with Hecate's deck because that's definitely the deck that's calling to me. We joined forces here in the last little bit, so we're gonna see what Hecate has to say. A lot. Something's being initiated, huh? Well, it's something of a mystery. Oh, there's a journey, a dichotomy, and we're protected. So with the journey card, this is not always about the destination, right? I say this all the time. It's not about the destination always. Sometimes it's about the experiences along that route. And if you notice, this person's at the beginning of it. So we're starting down this particular path. We're going down it. And with dichotomy, we're not really sure. There seems to be some bad thoughts coming in. This is the dark mind. This is the ego, the shadow. We're having doubts. We have some fears coming in. But you need not worry. You need not worry because it's fully protected. Whatever route, whatever journey that you're about to make or that you're presented with right now, I mean, come on. The divine's protecting you. 110%. You have nothing to worry about. So if you're wanting to go towards a particular job, go for it. If you're wanting to ask a particular person out on a date, go for it. If you're wanting to change, scenery, buy a new home, buy a new car, go for it. Don't allow the dark mind to come up because it's protected. Whatever journey that you're on, whatever path this is, we'll find out in a minute. Whatever that you have decided to encumber yourself upon, it's highly protected. Because there's some form of it. For some reason there's something within this that's going to initiate something. So it's like I'm getting a feeling of like there's a particular place that we go to. Because sometimes when we visit certain places, certain memories are triggered, and it initiates certain changes. And I feel like that's part of the experience. That's part of the journey. The journey that you're embarking on is having these unknown initiations take place. It's like you're walking through certain doors, certain portals, certain things, and it's causing like a chain reaction. I'm getting like a chain reaction. Chain reaction. Okay. We're going to pull from this deck here, right here. All right, Spirit, can you go ahead and tell us about this path? Knight of Pentacles. It's a very slow going progress. It takes time. I feel like you're being directed to take your time with this, not to rush anything, to actually implement certain plans, to start planning things and taking action based on those plans. Because right after that, we have the Queen of Pentacles. And this has a lot to do with the 3D. This could have something to do with, your home, everything that you're working on, whatever path you're working on, and going in that particular direction. And understanding that the direction or the path that you're on is the right path. It is not the incorrect one. You're just needing to remain grounded. Tell me about this dichotomy. Can you tell us some more about this dichotomy? The Chariot. This has to do with you moving forward with this. The movement of something. Keeping the balance of the mind. So being able to balance oneself with what they believe, their beliefs or their doubts, you have to trust in the process here with the Chariot. This is like trusting the process and not allowing those thoughts to come up and create differences or blockages for you. The protection. We have the Ace of Wands. This path, it's the Ace of Wands. It's a new path, a new direction, a new spark. It's completely protected, and you have nothing to worry about. Don't be stressing yourself out about it, because you are on the right path, and it's a divine path, and it's the one you're meant to be on. Tell me about this mystery. We have the Four Cups with the Five of Pentacles. There's some feelings here that's being that you're not aware of. It's being initiated, and it's like it's like when you walk through this door, or this place, or this memory, or this time, you're able to see how and why you felt like you were left out, and it's because you were being left out. And here's what I mean by that. This thing that's being initiated, whatever this is for you, is going to be so much more than you have ever experienced. And so you're going to see that the things that you were dealing with in the past was actually things that were creating those feelings of lack, because you were missing out. That's why you were feeling those feelings. You're fully going to understand why you were feeling those feelings of lack, because you were, I mean, that's essentially what was going on. You were being left out. You weren't being valued. You didn't value yourself. But I feel like your value system has changed, right? Because that's why we start the healing process, is to separate ourselves from the dark mind, from the shadowy aspect, the ego. Dissolve that part of ourself, come back to the self, reunite with oneself, and understand and learn and love the self. That's all part of the process, right? So we're seeing that process take place here, and you're just needing a little bit of reassurance, I feel like, with this protection, the Ace of Wands. A little bit of reassurance that you're going in the right direction. Things are going good for you. You are headed in the right way, not to fret. So if there's certain things that come up on your path here that create feelings of worry or anxiety, or it's because it's just an energetic tug from something in the past that is coming up, it's coming online, so that it can be released, so that you can reevaluate that and let it go and not carry that weight with you anymore. That's where the forward progress comes in. If you're not able to keep yourself grounded and know without a fact that this is part of the journey, it's part of the process, not to worry about it. That does not mean that we have to reconnect with it. It just means we observe it. Observe it for what it is. Did we learn the lesson? Ask ourselves, did we learn a lesson from it? If we did, is there any more lessons we can learn from it? And once we're able to establish that it's no longer needed, then we're able to just let it go, let it balance itself out. This is the release of it. And you have the truth that you need. You're fully aware that this Ace of Wands is very potent energy. It's a very strong, fiery energy. It's a very deep calling, and it's this moment that it's coming from deep down, and it could have something to do with feeling like you're protected. Who you are as an individual is protected. It could have something to do with, you know, a lot of times when I see this card comes up from the lower realm, this is the base chakra, the root chakra, sacral, those chakras, right? And those have to do with our stability, our foundations, and they also have to do with protection. This is the masculine part. This is also the process of these are the energies that actually put things into action. So the upper realm, the higher chakras, that's the divine, that's the source, right? That's where the energy comes in from source, from the third chakra down. So when we're receiving these informations, or we're developing these plans, or we're working with these energies, right? We have them all up in the top. Sometimes they can get blocked as they're on their way down, as far as never being actually put into action. So if you're someone that kind of procrastinates, this would be along those lines. For some reason, we're not able to implement or put into action the plans that the divine, ourselves, the higher up, whatever modality works for you, has decided upon doing. There's a miscommunication between the upper realm and the lower realm. So this happens in the middle realm. So that then becomes where there's a blockage. That would be the heart space. And for me, I would feel like this would be something that has we have an emotional attachment to it. Why are we not wanting to let this go? Or why are we not wanting to execute this plan? What is the reasoning that I'm not actually wanting to implement this? Although it's something I desire, it's something that I would have great pleasure for. This is something that would be very beneficial for me. For some reason, I'm not willing to actually execute that plan. What is that reasoning? And it has to do with the dark mind. It has to do with the shadowy aspect that stands in the way in the heart chakra, in the middle realm, okay, and creates an energetic blockage that doesn't allow you to move forward. You're able to annihilate that with this Ace of Wands. You're able to take care of that because you are on the right path. As long as you continue to make decisions based on what's best for you in a grounded, practical way, you will be able to keep this dark minded, the balance between, look at my nails. See, there's a reason why I have a black set and a white set. And that's signifying for me. It's just something I like to do so that I can blend. You know, it's the balance, the yin and the yang, the light and the dark. You see what I'm saying? That's why I wear my nails that way. Most people don't understand it. It's not for them. It's for me. I enjoy it. I like it. That's what I do. So this is the dark mind. That's how I balance things for myself. I look at it, is it dark or is it light? Am I balanced? How am I not balanced? In what ways can it be balanced? And it's just a visual for me to help keep me grounded in my Queen of Pentacles state, where I can process things to the best of my ability that work best for me, and not move towards or do things that are going to cause imbalances due to some bad thoughts, bad programming, bad processing. Sometimes, the emotions, the heart chakra, that's where the emotions are stored. A lot of times the blockages come from there. It's been my experiences. That's where the blockages come from, is because we've had an emotional attachment one way or another, whether it be good or bad. It doesn't allow us to progress forward. And we have to really learn to sit with ourselves. That's this Ace of Wands. This is the ability to sit with the self and understand the self, to obtain that energy to move forward, to understand that we are protected. We are fully protected. But it has to be established within the self in order to move forward. And if we don't understand our own self-worth, because we're distracted by this, that, and the other, that is not meant to be in your hemisphere. It's not meant to be in your space for a reason, whatever that reason is. Okay. It is meant to fall away. But for whatever reason, we have an emotional attachment to it and we don't want to let it go. It remains, right? Well, then we find ourselves in the Four of Cups. We find ourselves completely unsatisfied because we could have had so much more. And it's not the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. This is the knowing. This is the truth. This is what you need to know. Do not hang on to things that made you feel less than. Don't hang on to those things. Let those things go. Let them fall away. It is okay if they fall away. A lot of times we have the tendency to grab on a little tighter when something starts to fall away, or we know we need to let it go. We seem to grip on a little bit. And that's the Earthian experience. That's the human experience. We want to cling on to things because it gave us reason, or it gave us some kind of understanding, or we at one time was able to see ourselves completely engrossed in it. But for whatever reason, it needs to fall away at this point in time in your life, because you're ascending, you're elevating yourself, and it's causing an energetic blockage for you not to be able to move forward with something. That's where the dark mind comes in. And if you're not able to sit with yourself long enough to see those things, then we're back to square one. So it's like an endless loop. There's that loop. We're just going round and round and round. It's not what we want to do. We don't want that kind of loop. What else we got, Spirit? Nine of Cups. Look at you. You're getting what you want. If you can stay in this energy, the Queen of Pentacles, and that's doing what's best for you, taking care of your business, taking care of your things, this is what you get. You are completely content. You stay in that energy. You stay pretty content. You stay pretty happy. But it also means that because you have all these achievements and all these things that not necessarily tangible, but it's like all those emotions and feelings towards things that you have actually done the groundwork for and have brought to your 3D, your concrete. You're granted a wish. You're granted something here. You're being granted it. It's the ability to transform situations. It's the ability to transform yourself, to transition. This is a transitioning. You transition out of. You're able to jump back and forth in between the dark side and the light side, because sometimes it is important that we understand that the shadow is there for a reason, and it has its good points. There are certain times that the shadowy side is needed and is called upon. But you have to understand energies too, so that we don't get stuck, because it's easy for the human nature for us to want to stay in the negative, pessimistic side. It's very common for people to do that, especially if you've experienced a lot of trauma, because we don't see our value. We don't understand how we truly feel. That we're deserving of allowing things. So we have to understand that there's certain parts of ourselves that will fall away. There's certain relationships, there's certain things in our lives, but it's opening us up so for things that are more. So if we have too much dark and not enough light, and we don't allow the death to happen, the transformation to take place, then those things will never take place. You'll never, ever actually experience the Nine of Cups. You'll never be able to bring whatever it is you're trying to bring into your reality, because you're hung on to the past for too much, and it's too much dark. There has to be a balance. Without one, the other one does not exist. It is the truth. Without the light, there is no dark. And without the dark, there is no light, because there's no reason for the other to exist. Ace of Wands, please. We have the Three of Wands. This is about the growth, the understanding that what once was is what it was, but it doesn't have to always be. And so now we're going to take that energy, we're going to take that at one, that Ace of Wands here, that download, and we're going to duplicate it. Oh, we're going to take it a step further. We're going to triple that. You know what I mean? We're going to bring more of that. We want more of that. We want stability. We want structure. And the more and more effort that we put in, the more and more paths that we execute, the more and more desirable outcomes that we are actually able to bring into our reality, because we have allowed things to fall away, the more and more they come in. The Three of Wands. The more growth we've had. It just shows the amount of growth that one has went and has undergone and has. Three of Swords. Yes. Yes. I understand that it's difficult the dark mind is this is very touchy. Okay. So this is very difficult. I understand it's very difficult, but it's something that has to happen. We have to have this dissolve. We have to have this split in order to find the true point of the true understanding of what's in the middle. What is the blockage? Okay. What is blocking me from feeling like I'm worthy? What is that? We have to separate ourselves from that. It's going to be painful. This is not something, the Five of Pentacles, especially when it's in your life, and it has been for a very long time, is not easy to separate from. No, it is not. But it is detrimental for you if you want to evolve as a human, as a person, as a soul, to actually experience it. So separating from things that are heartbreaking, are going to, create more heartbreak, but we don't hang on to that. The dark mind wants to hang on to that. The ego wants to hang on to that because it feels like this, it's going to experience it again. No, not when you're going through the process. Now, there is a difference between going through the process and being on the hamster wheel. Okay, when you're going through the process and things are coming up, things are being initiated because of the places you're going or the path that you're on is bringing certain things up. That does not mean that the universe is going to feed it back to you. No, that's not it. It is so it can be released. Once it is released and the universe is fully aware that's what you're doing, you don't get it back. It doesn't come back to you. It only comes back to you if you have not learned the lesson with it. Because if you have not learned the lesson, therefore you can't release it, right? You still hang on to it. That's why that emotional blockage is there. So for whatever reason that you're having an emotional attachment to something that is creating a blockage for you, it has to be completely separated from. It has to be relieved. Well, like I said, in order for that to happen, you do have to go through the process. It's not just a quick fix, it's done. That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works. It's not, you can't, sure, you can try, go get all the knowledge that you want, but if you don't do the work for yourself to understand yourself, to be able to heal those parts of yourself, all the knowledge that you have will be just that. Just a bunch of books that you've read, a bunch of literature that you've read, but you have no idea the weight of those words because you don't understand them. There was a lot of times going as I've been going, I'm not even through my full spiritual awakening. Absolutely not. I'll never be through it, and I'm fully aware of that. I'm in student teacher role right now. However, what I have learned as when I started my awakening is I was gathering up all this knowledge, but I thought I understood what I was reading because I thought I understand the English language. No, I'm here to tell you right now, no. When you start actually experiencing those things that you read, that's when it sinks in. That's when the weight of those words make perfectly good sense. It just made a little bit of sense because you understood the words that you were reading. But it didn't make complete sense until you start going through the process. That's why I'm saying you can't do a wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, spiritual awakening. It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. It is a process. It is very difficult at times. You lose everything, it seems like. But do you? Do you? No. Here's where, no, you do not lose everything. What you're losing are those things that are holding you back. So you're not losing them. You're relieving yourself of them so that you can get out of this Five of Pentacles state. So that you can separate yourself from it. So you're no longer feeling unsatisfied and unhappy with life. So that you can initiate something so much greater and so much better for you. That's destined for you, that is there for you. It is meant for you to walk through that doorway. But if you're not able to go through the process and learn that you are protected, it doesn't matter what, once you're on this path, once you set out on this path, you're highly protected from that point on. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about it. If you're doing and you're working and you're actually focusing on things, have faith in the process because it'll show itself. You'll start to see so many changes just within your environment. It's not going to be quick changes. The quickest thing that you will notice is that the toxic connections that you had with people that where you were the one that was putting all your energy and they were giving you much, you'll see all of those dissipate. Those will be one of the first things that you notice go away. This could even be jobs. This could be, it could be anything. Just whatever was draining you. Once you start pulling back your energy, start focusing on yourself. Now, the relationships that will remain is the ones that understand that you are healing yourself and they meet you more than halfway because they believe in you, they trust in you, they have faith in you. Those connections will remain intact. All the other ones will not. So you're lucky to come out with one person on the other side. I ain't going to lie. I ain't going to lie to you. You're going to be lucky to have one person on your side, in your corner, backing you 100%. At least that's the way it was for me. I've got one person, my best friend in the whole wide world, the greatest person I've ever met in my entire life, the sweetest person, and completely opposite. Like I'm on this side, she's on this side, for real. But we have a good time. But I'm going to tell you right now, she is the only person that's still in my corner, still to this day, no matter what. She's never turned her back on me. Not one time. And that is a good friend. So you'll be lucky to have one true friend that's going to walk out on the other side of that with you. Because that person, she believed in me. And had she not believed in me, I probably wouldn't be sitting right here right now. Honestly, probably not. Who knows where I'd be? I'm not going to focus on that. It's the ability to understand that I'm very grateful for that friendship. I'm very grateful for the ability and the journey that I've been on, and I hope you are too. I hope you get to that point where you understand it too. And it is a process, but it's a process worth it all, because when times are tough, I'm not. Yeah, I might get a little crunk, but I don't get 9 kinds of twisted, bound, wrapped around the axle, going the other direction, pulling 90 different directions. No, I just sit back and go with it. I ain't got no choice. And life is so much easier when you do. It truly is. It's so much easier. Things start to get better. You start drawing in connections. Once you come out the dark night of the soul now, like I said, you got to go through the process. But once you start coming out on the other side of that, you start experiencing life in a different lens. And you're not gaslighting yourself. You know, if you got somebody in your environment, they're gaslighting you, it's because you're gaslighting yourself, sweetheart. Straight up. There ain't no way around it. Ain't no two bits. If you got someone that's deceiving you, you best look at yourself. Because that's a mirror. Everything is a reflection of who you are. Whether you want to believe it or not, it is true, true, true. So if you don't like that reality that's being projected, or it's being reflected, not projected. There's a difference between projected and reflection. If you don't like what's being reflected back to you, you can make that change. It all depends on you. That's the moment where you have to sit with yourself, ground yourself, think about it thoroughly, and do this from a good place and with a good heart, and know that it's part of it. It's part of it. You need to do this. It is going to be difficult. It is going to hurt. It is going to be painful. No lie. I ain't going to deny. Okay? It sucks. But when you get out on the other side of it and you're feeling this 9 of cups and everything starts happening and you start manifesting like this and things just start coming to you effortlessly, you don't have to really do anything. It just like, there it is. You think it up, it's there. You think it up, it's there, because your heart and your soul is all in line. It's all attuned with one another. And that's that attunement that we all want, that we all seek. But you can't get it outside of yourself. No, 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 no. That's not how it works. No, it's all within the self. And then it starts showing up in your 3D. The universe is able to give it to you just as you are. So, if you like the way I read, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. And until we meet again, toodaloo-loos.